Hi Gravitrax fans! Today we take an in-depth look at the 4 new Gravitrax extensions and sets being released by Ravensburger in 6 weeks in Europe. With a European release date of September 1st, 2021, these 4 Gravitrax releases are pretty exciting. You're going to want to see these. There are 2 new Vertical Pro extensions, the Turntable and the Helix. I'm going to explain to you exactly how these 2 extensions will work. And there are 2 new Gravitrax sets, the Advent Calendar and the Extreme Starter Set. We will review their contents and you will see close-ups of all the new pieces. Again, we're going to examine the new parts in detail and we're going to completely explain how the 2 new extensions are going to work. So stay tuned. I'm the Masked Marble, and my videos are about all things Gravitrax. Let's get started. First, the Turntable. This extension will retail for 12 euros. This new Vertical Pro extension is similar to the already released Mixer and Splitter. Like these other 2 extensions, the Turntable consists of a top level and a bottom level. I'm going to explain to you exactly how the Turntable works right now. There are 6 entrances on top of the turntable. 2 of these are opposing entrances that make a straight track. If a marble enters the straight track on the top, it exits on the opposite side on the top. But there's a trick here. The orientation of this turntable is not fixed. It rotates, just like a railway turntable at a locomotive yard. Here's how the Gravitrax turntable rotates. Do you see the other 4 marble entrances at the top of the turntable? Each one is a rabbit hole that goes down inside the turntable. Marbles that enter the turntable at these 4 entrances will fall down the rabbit hole into the turntable. Now look at the side of the turntable. Do you see this angled piece of clear plastic? That's a marble ramp. This ramp is on all 6 sides of the turntable. That means that any marble falling down any one of the 4 rabbit holes will follow the ramp and will exit the turntable on the lower level 60 degrees counterclockwise from the side that it entered. In other words, the marble enters on the top, goes down the ramp, and exits at the bottom of the ramp on the adjacent side, counterclockwise from the side that it entered. But here's the cool part. Do you see that this part of the green centerpiece has a channel on all 6 sides? That couples it to the falling marble. As a marble goes down the rabbit hole and rolls down the ramp, this channel causes the entire center section of the turntable to rotate counterclockwise 60 degrees. The straight track on top is now pointing in a whole new direction. It now connects the 2 sides that were 60 degrees counterclockwise from the 2 sides that were originally connected. Now imagine what would happen to a marble traveling across the top while the turntable is being turned by another marble falling down the rabbit hole. Or imagine what would happen if a marble arrives at the turntable while the turntable is in the middle of turning. This makes for some very interesting possibilities for some tricky tracks. So that is how the Gravitrax turntable works. Let's move on to the second new release, the Helix, also called the 3D Crossing. This extension will also retail for 12 euros. This new Vertical Pro extension is also similar to the already released Mixer and Splitter. Like these other 2 extensions, the Helix consists of a top level and a bottom level. I'm going to explain to you exactly how the Helix works right now. There are 6 entrances on top of the Helix. 3 of these entrances lead to outer helical ramps. The other 3 of them lead to inner helical ramps. The entrances to the inner and outer ramps alternate so that the 3 outer helical ramps are equally spaced, 120 degrees apart, as are the 3 inner helical ramps. All 6 ramps take the marble down and to the right. Unlike the rotating turntable, there are no moving parts to the helix. So first let's look at the outer helical ramps. A marble coming into the helix will be diverted sharply to the right by one of these little projections at the top. Do you see those? Those will push the marble to the right and down a helical ramp on the outer perimeter. The marble rolls around and exits on the opposite side that it entered at the bottom of the helix. This is shown in the picture by the red marble. Now let's look at the inner helical ramps. The detail is more difficult to see, but a marble coming in to one of these entrances is diverted to the left by that same little projection at the top so that it goes to the inner part of the helix, and it will fall and twist slightly to the right down the middle of the helix. So it goes on the inside and not on the outer perimeter. Here too, the marble rolls around and exits on the opposite side than what it entered at the bottom of the helix. So regardless of what entrance a marble enters, it exits on the opposite side at the bottom level. Also, because the marbles are falling, they will exit with some more speed. But what is cool about the helix is that 6 marbles can enter the helix at once, and none of them will hit each other. They can all enter and exit at any time or the same time going down the helix. So imagine 6 marbles all heading into the top looking like they are about to collide. Then magically they all divert just enough to keep from hitting each other and keep on going the direction they were headed, exiting on the opposite side. Now I suspect that the 3 inner helix marbles might take less time to exit than the outer helix marbles, and that's because the outer ones have a slightly longer path to travel, but we'll have to see. So that's how the helix extension works. Let's move on to the third new release, the Gravitrax Advent Calendar. This set will retail for €30. The Advent Calendar set contains 36 pieces, which are grouped into 24 daily Advent gifts, plus one more surprise. Open one door a day during Advent season. And just so we're clear, the word Advent means arrival or coming, and the Advent season is celebrating the first arrival of Jesus, the Christ, who was the ultimate gift from God to mankind. Jesus became the sacrifice for us that obtained the forgiveness of our sins for everyone who puts their trust in Jesus. The significance of Jesus' advent cannot be overstated. Let's be sure that when we celebrate Advent this year, that we recognize whose Advent we are celebrating, because He is worthy of all praise and honor and fame. He gave His life for us, and there is no greater love than that. For the 24 days leading up to Christmas, the Gravitrax Advent Calendar will yield a new Gravitrax piece or pieces to build with. Now, before I continue, let me give a spoiler alert here. If you plan to buy the Gravitrax Advent Calendar and you don't want to know what the contents are, if you want to be pleasantly surprised by the contents when you open the doors, please skip ahead in the video to the overview of the Gravitrax Extreme Starter Set. You will notice that the video has been divided into section headings, which will display as you hover over the video's scroll bar, and you can use these headings to know where to skip ahead to. Or just look in the video description where you can click directly on the link for the Gravitrax Extreme Starter Set overview, so you can skip over the contents of the Gravitrax Advent Calendar Set if you choose. Okay, so now we are going to look at the contents of the Gravitrax Advent Calendar Set. The Gravitrax Advent Calendar contains some parts that you may not have but have always been wanting. And the Gravitrax Advent Calendar also contains brand new parts that you haven't seen before. A golden marble and 11 new curve tiles, including the ribbon curve tile. Now here is the full parts list. You can view the complete set contents in the latest version of the free online reference called Gravisheet. It contains the contents of every single Gravitrax set, and you can see what the quantity of those parts are. So see the link in the description for Gravisheet. So here's the full parts list of the Advent calendar. 1 golden ball, 11 new curve tiles, 1 spinner, 1 spiral, 1 transfer, 1 extra long slow rail, 1 extra long thin speed rail, 8 short Bernoulli plastic rails, which are likely 3 left curve rails, 2 straight rails, and 3 right curve rails, 1 vertical U-turn, 1 tunnel switch, 1 straight tunnel, 2 curved tunnels, 1 vortex, 4 large height tiles, and 1 small clear platform. As far as the 8 short Bernoulli rails go, I am going to assume that 3 of them are left turns, 3 of them are right turns, and 2 of them are straight drops. I assume this because these other starter sets also contain 8 short Bernoulli rails in this same distribution of 3 left, 3 right, and 2 straight. They are the Vertical Pro starter set, the Speed starter set, and the as yet unreleased Light starter set. The only thing I'm not sure about is what is the configuration of the 11 new curve tiles. Obviously, there is at least 1 ribbon curve tile, which is pictured on the back cover. But from the new Extreme starter set, we learned that there are 3 other new track tiles being released in September. These are a merge left tile, a merge right tile, and a 2-way merge tile. Are any of these included in the Gravitrax Advent calendar set? I honestly don't know, but I would guess they are. I don't see any of these pieces pictured, though, on the set cover. The set cover seems to show the normal, regular Gravitrax curve tiles. So does the Advent calendar set contain any of those regular Gravitrax curve tiles, the ones that we are already used to? I just don't know. The description seems to indicate that all 11 curve tiles are new curve tiles, which seems to indicate that none of them are the regular curve tiles we're used to. But if that is the case, what would be their quantities? I would have to guess 3 apiece of each of the 3 merge tiles and 2 of the ribbon curve tiles, but we'll have to wait for an unboxing to know for sure. Or maybe you don't want to know and you want it to be a surprise for Advent. In summary, it would be best to think of the Gravitrax Advent calendar as a Gravitrax sampler set. It has a little bit of everything, including some of the parts you may have always wanted, like the small transparent level, or the long rails, the tunnel pieces, or other extensions like the spinner, the transfer, or the spiral. This looks like a fun set. I'm really looking forward to the gold marble. I think this is one of the coolest Gravitrax releases since I entered the hobby back in January. I really wish we knew where Ravensburger sources its marbles from so that we could buy colored marbles separately, especially when they come in exciting new colors besides the standard red, green, blue, and chrome silver. Now let's move on to the final new Gravitrax release, the Gravitrax Vertical Pro Extreme Starter Set. This set will retail for 100 euros. The Vertical Pro Extreme Starter Set is a brand new set with 185 pieces that falls on the Vertical Pro side of the Gravitrax building universe. It has an interesting mix of parts and most closely mirrors the Speed Starter Set, which is a basic Gravitrax starter set that is not a Vertical Pro set. Like the Speed Starter Set, the Extreme Starter Set contains 6 base floor tiles. This is 2 more floor tiles than most other starter sets. And like the Speed Starter Set, the Extreme Starter Set contains 2 large clear platforms and 2 small clear platforms, whereas other starter sets typically only contain the large clear platforms. Now let's look at the things that make the Extreme Starter Set unique. First and most noticeable is that the Extreme Starter Set contains 1 each of all 4 Vertical Pro extensions: the splitter, the mixer, the turntable, and the helix or 3D crossing. Second, the Extreme starter set contains a small subset of the Vertical Pro pieces. It contains 2 medium walls, 6 columns, 4 of which are solid and 2 of which are tunnels, 4 balconies, and 2 double balconies. Comparing that to the Vertical Pro starter set and the Vertical Pro expansion set, which both have 2 medium walls and 2 long walls, the Extreme starter set does not contain any long walls. Also, the Extreme starter set does not contain a short wall like the Vertical Pro starter set does. Both the Vertical Pro starter and expansion sets have 16 balconies, whereas the Extreme starter set only has 4. And while the Vertical Pro starter set has 4 double balconies, the Extreme starter set only has 2. But that is better than the Vertical Pro expansion set, which has no double balconies. Third, the Extreme starter set contains more short rails than any other starter set with the exception of the XXL starter set. Most other starter sets contain 9 short rails, while the XXL starter set has double that at 18, but the Extreme starter set contains a whopping 15 short rails. Fourth, the Extreme starter set contains more regular curved tiles than any other starter set with the exception of the XXL starter set. The base starter set and obstacle starter set each contain 21 curved tiles, while the Speed and Vertical Pro starter sets each contain 28 curved tiles. But the Extreme starter set contains a whopping 35 curved tiles, not including the new curved tiles being released in September. So only the XXL has more curved tiles at 42. Fifth, the Extreme starter set contains 8 short Bernoulli speed rails, 3 left-hand turns, 3 right-hand turns, and 2 straight. This is the same as the Speed starter set, the Vertical Pro starter set, the Advent calendar set, we believe, and the as-yet unreleased Light starter set. Sixth, the Extreme starter set is the first starter set to not include a launch pad. Instead, it includes a spinner that can release 6 marbles at once. Seventh, the Extreme starter set contains 1 each of the 4 new curved tiles, a merge left tile, a merge right tile, a 2-way merge tile, and a ribbon curve tile. And I call it that because it looks like a ribbon folded over on itself. So here is the full contents list. There are 35 curved tiles, 1 3-in-1, 1 vortex, 5 crossings, 4 new curved tiles including the ribbon tile, the 2-way merge tile, the right merge tile, and the left merge tile, 1 Gauss cannon, 2 switches, 3 base tiles with open centers and 1 base tile with a closed center. And then there are the base tile inserts. There's 1 spinner, 1 free fall insert, 1 splash insert, 2 catcher inserts, and 1 landing insert. That's 5 total inserts, and there are only 4 base tiles to hold those inserts. So just know that you can't use all of the inserts at the same time just with this set. There are 56 large height tiles, and there are 12 small height tiles. There were 8 short Bernoulli rails, including 3 left curve rails, 2 straight rails, and 3 right curved rails. And there are 4 Vertical Pro extensions, including 1 splitter, 1 turntable, 1 mixer, and 1 helix or 3D crossing. There are 6 balls, 3 colored and 3 chrome, 2 tunnel columns, 4 solid columns, 1 finish ladder, 15 short plastic rails, 6 medium plastic rails, and 3 long plastic rails, 2 medium walls, 6 base plate floor tiles, 2 small clear platforms, 2 large clear platforms, 4 balconies, and 2 double balconies. So the Extreme starter set looks like a very well-rounded starter set containing a little of everything from Vertical Pro pieces to all 4 of the Vertical Pro extensions, to the new curved pieces, as well as all of the usual starter set pieces. So that wraps up the 4 new upcoming Gravitrax releases from Ravensburger. Many of us in the US wonder when these will be available to us. We don't know, but if history is any indication, the new Vertical Pro extensions should be available at American resellers sometime in late September or October. But the Extreme Starter Set and the Advent Calendar Set may only be released overseas and not in the US. But if that is the case, you can still order them from an overseas website that offers international shipping, such as Amazon.de, for example. Well, I hope that helps you understand what is coming from Ravensburger with its upcoming Gravitrax releases in September. We'll see you next time.